The massive screens in the Meridian Alliance's Central Command lit up with Earth's first transmission. Fleet Commander Ty Rim stood straight, his four eyes blinking in sequence as he watched the simple radio message travel across space. His gray skin wrinkled around his mouth as he frowned. "Such primitive technology," he mumbled, touching the floating display with one of his long fingers. "They haven't even mastered basic quantum communications." The Alliance's detection ships had found Earth 3 days ago. 7 alien species made up the Meridian Alliance, each one master of different technologies. They thought they had seen everything in their 1,000 years of space exploration. But Earth was different. In the corner of the command room, young diplomat Song Yi watched quietly. She was the Alliance's expert on emerging civilizations, and something about Earth made her nervous. While other planets they found usually had 1 or 2 powerful nations, Earth had many countries working together and competing at the same time. This created a special kind of strength that her colleagues didn't understand. "We should study them more," Song Yi said, stepping forward. Her voice was firm despite being the youngest person in the room. "Their history shows they advance very quickly when threatened." Admiral Vector, a tall being with metallic skin, laughed. The sound echoed like bells in the command room. "They still use combustion engines for space travel. What could they possibly do against our ships?" Song Yi didn't back down. "They went from their first flight to landing on their moon in just 66 years. That's faster than any species we know." But the Alliance Council had already made up their mind. Earth would be perfect for their expansion plans. They needed the resources, and humans would be useful workers once they understood their place in the galaxy. Fleet Commander Ta Rim sent out the orders. 50 ships would enter Earth's solar system. They would show humans their power and give them a simple choice: join the Alliance or be forced to join. "Send them our standard greeting package," Ta Rim ordered. "Let them see what real power looks like." The Alliance ships jumped into Earth's solar system one by one. They were beautiful and scary at the same time. Their hulls shone like pearls, and they moved without making any sound or light that humans could detect. Or so they thought. Deep under the Pacific Ocean, in a secret base that didn't exist on any map, Captain Jaiwan watched the alien ships appear on special screens. He smiled a little as he sent a coded message to all Earth's hidden bases. The message was simple: they took the bait. For 10 years, Earth had known about alien life. A crashed scout ship in the Arctic had taught them everything they needed to know. Instead of announcing this to everyone, Earth's nations had done something unexpected. They'd worked together in secret. Song Yi tried one last time to warn her people. She stood in front of the Alliance Council, her hands shaking, but her voice steady. "Please, listen to me. Humans are different. They have something we've never seen before." "And what is that?" asked Admiral Vector with a bored look. "They know how to work together while staying different. They fight each other but unite against outside threats. They advance faster when they're scared or angry. And right now, we're about to make them very, very angry." The Council ignored her warnings. They sent their first message to Earth, expecting the humans to be amazed and scared by their technology. The message was big and bright, appearing in the sky above every major city. But in his underwater base, Captain Jaiwan read the message and pressed a button. Suddenly, all the Alliance's fancy sky messages disappeared. In their place, a simple text appeared on every Alliance ship's command screen. "We've been waiting for you. Let's talk about how this is going to work." Fleet Commander Ta Rim's 4 eyes opened wide as his ship's sensors finally detected something massive moving deep in Earth's oceans, something that shouldn't exist, something that made his commanders tremble. The real first contact was about to begin. The Alliance didn't like surprises. When their sky messages disappeared, Fleet Commander Ta Rim decided to show humans what real power looked like. He ordered his ships to build orbital stations around Earth without asking permission. "Let them watch us work," he said to his officers. "They'll learn their place soon enough." But Captain G1 of the Earth Defense Force watched from his underwater base and smiled. Everything was going according to plan. The Alliance ships were positioning themselves exactly where Earth wanted them. "Send the diplomatic message," he ordered. His staff typed quickly on their screens. They had practiced this moment many times. The message was polite but firm. "Please stop building stations in Earth's orbit. We want to talk first." Admiral Vector laughed when he read it. He walked to the main window of his command ship and looked down at the blue planet below. "They're using such simple words. They must be scared." But young diplomat Song Yi felt sick to her stomach. Something wasn't right. The humans were too calm. Their messages were too clear. She tried one last time to warn Vector. "Sir, I think they're playing with us," she said. "No primitive species acts this way when they see superior technology." Vector waved her away. "Then we'll teach them how the galaxy really works." He sent back a message that basically told Earth to shut up and do what they were told. Deep under the Atlantic Ocean, another secret base was busy. Admiral Hansol walked through the massive underground facility, where Project Thunderbolt was almost ready. Thousands of workers moved like ants, building something that would change everything. "How long until we're ready?" he asked Engineer Eugene, who was checking some complicated machines. "2 more days," she answered. "The new shields are better than we hoped. The Alliance won't know what hit them." Above them, the Alliance began to land small ships on Earth. They didn't ask permission. They just picked spots they liked and started building bases. They thought humans couldn't stop them. In New York, London, Tokyo, and other cities, people acted scared and confused, just like the aliens expected. But underground, in secret bunkers and hidden bases, Earth's real response was getting ready. Captain Jaiwan sat in a meeting with leaders from every major country on Earth. The room was deep underground, safe from alien scanning. "They've taken the bait," he said. "They think we're weak and divided. Are we ready for the next step?" President Lee nodded. "All our forces are in position. The Alliance still hasn't found any of our real military bases. For 10 years, Earth had built fake military bases above ground. They were obvious and easy to find. The real bases were hidden where no one would look for them, under oceans, inside mountains, and beneath the ice of Antarctica. The Alliance took pictures of Earth's obvious armies and laughed at the simple weapons they saw. They didn't know that humans had copied and improved the technology from that crashed alien ship years ago. Engineer Eugene walked into the meeting room with exciting news. "The shield tests are perfect," she said. "The Alliance's scans can't see through them at all." Admiral Hansol stood up. "Then it's time. Send the message." All around Earth, the fake military bases suddenly shut down. The Alliance thought they had scared humans into giving up. But then their sensors detected something massive moving under the Pacific Ocean. Fleet Commander Tai Rim rushed to his control room when the alarm started. "What's happening?" he demanded. His sensor officer looked confused and scared. "Sir, we're detecting power readings from Earth, but they're stronger than anything we've ever seen." In her office on the Alliance command ship, Song Yi watched the sensors light up. She typed a quick message to her leaders. "I warned you. Now watch what happens when you make humans angry." The water of the Pacific Ocean began to move. Something big was coming up. Something that would make the Alliance realize they had made a terrible mistake. The breaking point had arrived, and Earth was ready. Engineer Eugene stood in the biggest room she had ever seen. The underground chamber was 5 miles wide, hidden beneath the Pacific Ocean floor. Thousands of lights lit up the massive shape in front of her. The EDS Aegis, Earth's first supercarrier. "How does she look?" Commander Du Yun asked, walking up beside her. His footsteps echoed in the huge space. "Beautiful," Eugene said, touching the ship's smooth hull. "The aliens won't believe their eyes when they see her." Above them, on the ocean's surface, the Alliance continued building their bases. They thought Earth was giving up. Every day, Fleet Commander Tai Rim sent messages telling humans to accept their new rulers. But Earth was far from giving up. In the hidden shipyard, Yu-Jin checked the Aegis's new shields one last time. She had designed them based on the technology from the crashed alien ship, but she had made them much better. "Run the test," she ordered. The team activated the shields. The massive ship disappeared completely from all scans. Even standing right next to it, their best sensors couldn't see it. "Perfect." Commander Du-Yun smiled. "How are the weapons?" Yu-Jin walked him to the control room. On the screens, they could see the test results. The Aegis's weapons were stronger than anything the Alliance had. Earth had taken alien technology and made it better in just 10 years. Meanwhile, in his underwater command center, Captain Jaiwon watched the Alliance ships through special cameras. The aliens were getting comfortable. They thought they had won without a fight. "They still haven't found any of our bases," his assistant reported. "Their scans can't get through our shields." Jaiwon nodded. "Good. And the fake bases?" "Still working perfectly, sir. The Alliance thinks those old tanks and planes are our best weapons." Deep under the Antarctic ice, Admiral Hansol met with Earth's leaders. The room was cold, but everyone felt warm with excitement. On the big screen, they watched live videos of the Alliance. "They think we're primitive because we show them what they expect to see," Hansol said. "But we've been watching them too. We know all their weaknesses." The leaders looked at the pictures of the Aegis. The ship was bigger than anything humans had built before. Its black hull could change color like an octopus. Its weapons were hidden behind panels that looked like normal parts of the ship. "When do we show them?" President Lee asked. "Soon," Hansol answered. "Engineer Yu-Jin says the ship is ready. We're just waiting for the right moment." In space, on the Alliance command ship, young diplomat Song Yi watched Earth with worry. Something was wrong, but she couldn't prove it. The humans were too quiet, too calm. She went to Fleet Commander Ta Rim's office. "Sir, please listen. Our scans show nothing under Earth's oceans, nothing inside their mountains, nothing under their ice. Don't you think that's strange?" Ta Rim laughed. "It shows they have no technology worth hiding." Or, Song Ye said quietly, "It shows their technology is too good for us to see." But Ta Rim didn't listen. He was busy planning where to build more bases on Earth. The Alliance thought humans were simple creatures who would do whatever they were told. Back in the underwater shipyard, Yu-Jin turned on the Aegis's engines for the first time. The huge ship hummed quietly, its power contained by the new shields. 10 years of secret work was about to pay off. Commander Du-Yun walked through the ship's halls, checking every system. The crew was ready. They had trained for years in virtual reality copies of the ship. Now they would show the Alliance what humans could really do. "All systems are green," Yu-Jin reported. "The Aegis is ready." In his Antarctic base, Admiral Hansol got the message. He looked at the other leaders and smiled. "It's time to show the Alliance why you should never underestimate humans." The order went out to all hidden bases. Operation Thunderbolt begins in 24 hours. The Alliance was about to learn that they weren't the most advanced species in the galaxy anymore. Earth's hidden strength was ready to be revealed, and nothing would ever be the same. Lieutenant Jin A crept through the shadows of the Alliance's new ground base in South Korea. The aliens thought their security was perfect, but they hadn't counted on Earth's stealth technology. Jin A's suit made her invisible to all their sensors. She reached the main computer room. The Alliance guards walked past her twice, but their scanners showed nothing. Jin A smiled as she plugged a small device into their systems. Within seconds, it began copying everything. "I'm in," she whispered into her hidden radio. "You won't believe what I'm seeing." Back in the underwater base, Captain Jaiwon watched the data flow in. His face grew dark as he read the Alliance's secret plans. They weren't just planning to rule Earth. They wanted to use humans as test subjects for their experiments. "Send this to Admiral Hansol right now," Jaiwon ordered. "He needs to see this." In the Antarctic Command Center, Admiral Hansol read the files with growing anger. The Alliance had detailed plans to test new weapons on human cities. They wanted to see how humans would react to different types of alien technology. "Call everyone," he said to his staff. "Emergency meeting in 1 hour." Meanwhile, on the Alliance command ship, Song-Yi found something strange. She was checking the records of Earth's responses to their demands when she noticed a pattern. The humans weren't acting scared. They were acting like they were waiting for something. She rushed to Fleet Commander Ta Rim's office. "Sir, the humans are about to learn their place," Ta Rim interrupted. He pointed to a map showing where they planned to build their next bases. "Tomorrow we start landing larger ships." Song-Yi tried one last time. "But sir, look at their behavior patterns. They're too organized, too calm. I think you think too much," Ta Rim snapped. "Go back to your studies. Leave military matters to soldiers." Deep under the Pacific Ocean, Engineer Yu Jin ran the final checks on the EDS Aegis. The massive ship hummed with power, its new shields making it completely invisible. Commander Du Yun stood on the bridge, watching his crew prepare for their first real mission. "All systems ready," Yu Jin reported. "The Alliance still has no idea we're here." Lieutenant Jin A's voice came through their secure channel. "The aliens are planning something big for tomorrow. They're going to land their largest ships yet." Admiral Hansol's face appeared on the main screen. He looked serious. "We just finished our emergency meeting. We've all seen the Alliance's real plans. They leave us no choice." He paused. "Operation Thunderbolt begins at dawn." All around Earth, hidden bases came alive. Soldiers who had trained in secret for years moved to their positions. Ships that no alien sensor could detect prepared to launch. The Alliance noticed none of this. They were too busy planning their show of force for the next day. They thought humans would be amazed and frightened by their biggest ships. In her quarters on the Alliance ship, Song-Yi couldn't sleep. Something about Earth's oceans bothered her. The sensors showed they were empty of technology, but sometimes, just for a second, she thought she saw something move deep below. Lieutenant Jin A finished her mission and disappeared into the night. The Alliance guards never knew she had been there. The data she stole would help Earth's forces target the aliens' weakest points. Captain Jae-won sent the final coded message to all Earth's hidden forces. "Dawn tomorrow. Show them who we really are." Commander Du Yun walked through the Aegis one last time. Every crew member was ready. They had waited 10 years for this moment. "Engineer Yu Jin, start the launch sequence." The huge underground chamber began to open. Ocean water poured in through special shields that kept the pressure out. The Aegis's engines powered up, making less noise than a whisper. Admiral Hansol stood in his command center, watching screens showing Alliance ships everywhere around Earth. Soon those ships would learn that humans weren't primitive or weak. They were just very, very good at keeping secrets. "Send the final warning to our people on the surface," he ordered. "Tell them to be ready." As night fell around the world, millions of humans went about their normal lives, pretending nothing was special about tomorrow. But in hidden bases and secret bunkers, Earth's real forces waited for dawn. The spark that would start everything was about to ignite. The Alliance's perfect plans were about to meet humanity's hidden strength, and the galaxy would never be the same. Dawn broke over the Pacific Ocean. The Alliance had gathered their biggest ships for a show of force. Fleet Commander Ta Rim stood proudly on his command ship, watching the sunrise on the primitive planet he thought he controlled. "Begin the ceremony," he ordered. "Show these humans what real power looks like." The Alliance's massive ships filled the sky. Their engines glowed with bright colors, and their weapons were all on display. On the surface, humans gathered to watch, pointing at the ships with what the aliens thought was fear. But it wasn't fear. They were waiting. Deep underwater, Commander Du Yun sat in the captain's chair of the EDS Aegis. "All systems ready?" he asked. Engineer Yu Jin checked her screens one last time. "Everything is perfect. They still can't see us." "Then let's crash their party," Du Yun smiled. He pressed a button on his chair. Admiral Hansel, we're ready. In the Antarctic base, Admiral Hansel gave the order everyone had waited 10 years to hear. Operation Thunderbolt begins now. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The Alliance ships continued their show, flying in perfect formation above the ocean. Fleet Commander Tayrim was about to give a speech telling Earth to surrender. Then the ocean began to move. "Sir," an Alliance sensor officer shouted, "something's coming up from the water." "Impossible," Tayrim said. "Our scans show nothing down there." But something was definitely rising. The ocean bulged upward, water cascading off something enormous. Something black and sleek and deadly. The EDS Aegis broke the surface. Water poured off its massive hull as it rose higher and higher. The ship was bigger than anything the Alliance had ever seen. Its surface seemed to swallow light, and no sensors could get a proper reading on it. "What is that?" Tayrim whispered, his 4 eyes wide with shock. On the Aegis's bridge, Commander Du-Yun smiled. "Send the message." Every Alliance screen lit up with words in their own language. "We tried to be polite. You chose not to listen." Then the Aegis's hull changed color, matching the sky so perfectly that parts of it seemed to vanish. Panels slid open, revealing weapons the Alliance had never seen before. "Impossible," Admiral Vector shouted from his ship. "They're primitives. They can't have this technology." Engineer Yu-Jin's voice came through on all Alliance channels. "Actually, we can. We've had 10 years to improve your technology. Would you like to see how much better we made it?" The Aegis fired a single shot. The beam was almost invisible, but it sliced through the shields of an Alliance orbital station, like they weren't there. The station didn't explode. It just fell apart into perfect pieces. "That was a warning," Captain Jaiwan's voice announced to the Alliance fleet. "The next shot won't be." Fleet Commander Tayrim found his voice. You tricked us." "No," Admiral Hansel replied. "We let you trick yourselves. You saw what you wanted to see." All around Earth, hidden bases activated. Ships rose from the ocean, from underground bunkers, from hidden mountain bases. Each one was as advanced as the Aegis, each one capable of taking on the entire Alliance fleet. On the Alliance command ship, young diplomat Song Yai watched with a mix of fear and respect. "I tried to tell you," she said to no one in particular. "Humans are different." The Alliance ships tried to raise their weapons, but nothing worked. Earth's new technology blocked all their systems. Engineer Yu-Jin stood proudly on the Aegis's bridge. "Their weapons can't lock onto us," she reported. "Our shields are working perfectly." Commander Du-Yun nodded. "Send the terms." Every Alliance ship received the same message. "You have 1 hour to leave Earth's solar system. You can leave peacefully now, or we can make you leave. Choose wisely." Fleet Commander Tayrim stared at the massive black ship hovering before him. In just a few minutes, everything he believed about humans had been proven wrong. They weren't primitive. They weren't weak. They had just been waiting. As Earth's hidden fleet surrounded the Alliance ships, Tayrim realized he only had one choice. The humans had outplayed them completely. "Signal the retreat," he ordered quietly. The mighty Alliance fleet, which had arrived so proudly, began to pull back. They had come to show humans their place in the galaxy. Instead, humans had shown them theirs. The Alliance ships retreated to the edge of the solar system, but they didn't leave completely. Fleet Commander Tayrim paced on his bridge. His pride hurt worse than his fear. "We can't just run away," he told his officers. "We're the Meridian Alliance. We rule this part of space." "Not anymore," Admiral Vector said quietly, watching the screens showing Earth's fleet. The human ships floated in perfect formation, their black hulls making them look like holes in space. On the EDS Aegis, Engineer Yu-Jin was explaining to Commander Du-Yun how completely Earth had beaten the Alliance's technology. "Their best sensors can't see through our shields," she said, pointing to her screens. "And look at this. They're still trying to scan us, but all they get is static. Do Yun smiled. 10 years of secret work paid off. How are their weapons? Like toys compared to ours. Yujin laughed. We could disable their whole fleet without killing anyone. Lieutenant Jin-A walked onto the bridge with new information. Sir, we just decoded more of their secret files. The Alliance has been bullying 15 other species in this part of the galaxy. Then maybe it's time someone stood up to them, Du Yun said. He called Admiral Hansol on the secure line. In his Antarctic base, Hansol listened to the report. Then he contacted Lieutenant Jin-A. Take what you found to the Alliance ship. Let's see how they handle some truth. Jin-A used Earth's new transport technology to appear right in the middle of the Alliance command ship. The aliens jumped back, shocked that she could get through their shields. Hello, she said calmly, putting a data disk on their main computer. You should watch this. The screens lit up with proof of everything the Alliance had done to other species. Fleet Commander Ta Rim's 4 eyes blinked rapidly as he watched. This is private Alliance information, he shouted. Not anymore, Jin-A smiled. We've sent copies to every species you've been bullying. They're all very interested. Back on Earth, Captain G1 was talking to the planet's leaders. The Alliance ships are staying at the edge of our solar system, he reported. They're probably trying to decide if they should fight. Let them try, Engineer Yujin said from the Aegis. I've got 5 new weapons they've never seen before. The Alliance commanders held an emergency meeting on their main ship. Young diplomat Song Yi watched as they argued about what to do. We can't attack, she finally said. Look at what they did with just 1 shot. Look at how easily they block our scans. They're not the primitives here. We are. Admiral Vector stood up angrily. We can't let them talk to us this way. We're the Alliance. Not for long, Song Yi said, pointing to her screen. Look. Messages were coming in from all the species the Alliance had been controlling. They had all seen the proof of the Alliance's lies, and they had all seen how Earth's ships had beaten the mighty Alliance fleet. The messages all said the same thing. We want to talk to Earth about an alliance. A real one. Commander Du Yun received the news on the Aegis's bridge. Looks like we didn't just protect Earth, he said. We might have changed the whole galaxy. Engineer Yujin nodded. All because they thought we were primitive. Being underestimated can be very useful. Fleet Commander Tai Rim received the final message from Earth. It was displayed on every screen in the Alliance fleet. You have 2 choices. Leave this part of space forever, or stay and learn to work with other species as equals. You have 1 hour to decide. The Alliance commanders looked at each other. Their perfect empire was falling apart. The species they had bullied were turning against them, and Earth's black ships waited silently, ready to enforce their words with actions. We should have listened to Song Yi, Admiral Vector said quietly. Yes, you should have, Song Yi agreed. Now we have to listen to Earth. They beat us not just with technology, but with patience and wisdom. The mighty Alliance fleet hung in space, facing the choice Earth had given them. Behind them, their empire was crumbling. In front of them, Earth's ships waited, proof that looking primitive didn't mean being primitive. The tables hadn't just turned. They had been flipped completely over. Admiral Hansol watched from Earth as the Alliance's hour of decision ticked away. Sometimes, he said to his staff, the strongest weapon isn't a weapon at all. It's letting your enemy believe they're stronger than you, until the perfect moment to prove them wrong. 3 months after Earth revealed its true power, the galaxy was a very different place. The Alliance chose to stay and learn to work with others as equals. It wasn't easy for them, but they had no choice. Captain Jaiwan stood in a new meeting room on Earth's moon. Around him sat representatives from 20 different alien species, the 7 former Alliance members, and the 15 species they used to control. Welcome to the first Galactic Council meeting, Jaiwan said. Earth is happy to host this historic event. The EDS Aegis floated nearby, visible through the room's huge windows. Its black hull reminded everyone how much things had changed. Other Earth ships patrolled the solar system, making sure the peace stayed peaceful. Engineer Yujin was showing some of the alien scientists how Earth's shield technology worked. She didn't show them everything, just enough to prove that humans weren't primitive anymore. "You made our technology better in just 10 years, one alien scientist said, shaking his head in wonder. "How?" Yujin smiled. "We looked at it differently. You all thought there was only one way to do things. We tried new ways." In another part of the base, Lieutenant Jin'e was working with Songye. The young alien diplomat had become Earth's strongest supporter in the Alliance. "The other species trust Earth more than they ever trusted us," Songye said, looking at reports from across the galaxy. "You beat us without destroying us. That means a lot." Jin'e nodded. "Sometimes the best victory is the one where you don't have to hurt anyone." Commander Du Yun had a new job now. He was training crews from other species to work together on joint space missions. It was strange to see aliens walking the halls of the Aegis, but it was a good kind of strange. "Remember," he told his mixed crew of humans and aliens, "we're all equal here. We all have something to teach and something to learn." Fleet Commander Tai Rim had changed too. After Earth shared proof of his secret plans to experiment on humans, he lost his high position. Now he worked with Admiral Hansol, learning how to be a better leader. "I still don't understand," Tai Rim said one day. "How did you fool us so completely?" Hansol looked out at the Earth ships patrolling space. "We didn't fool you. You fooled yourself. You saw what you expected to see. A primitive species. You never thought to look deeper." Earth's leaders met regularly with representatives from other worlds. They created new trade agreements, shared some technologies, and kept others secret. They helped the former Alliance worlds build a new way of working together. President Lee spoke to the Galactic Council about Earth's vision for the future. "We don't want to rule anyone," she said. "We want to work together. But we will always be ready to protect those who need protection." The alien species learned that humans had other surprises too. Earth had built not just one supercarrier like the Aegis, but a whole fleet of them. They were hidden in bases across the solar system, ready if they were ever needed. "Trust is good," Admiral Hansol liked to say, "but being prepared is better." Engineer Yujin kept working on new technologies. She believed Earth needed to stay ahead, just in case. But now she had help from alien scientists who brought new ideas and different ways of thinking. "We're stronger together," she told her mixed team of humans and aliens. "But only if we respect each other." Captain Jaiwan sometimes thought about that first day when the Aegis rose from the ocean. The Alliance's shocked faces still made him smile. But he was happier now, seeing former enemies working together on his ship. The galaxy settled into a new balance. Earth wasn't the primitive planet that needed to be conquered. It was the strong friend that other species turned to when they needed help. The planet that had pretended to be weak until the perfect moment had become a guardian of peace. In the end, Songye summed it up best. Standing on the Aegis's bridge, watching Earth's ships patrol alongside vessels from other worlds, she said, "The Alliance thought they were teaching humans their place in the galaxy. Instead, humans taught us all a better way to live in it." Admiral Hansol looked at the peaceful Earth below. The planet had changed the galaxy not just with superior weapons or better shields, but with a simple idea that different species could work together as equals. And if anyone ever forgot that lesson, Earth's black ships still patrolled the stars, ready to remind them.